We have finally done it. We've made it to Hall Masters. So in celebration of making it to Hall Masters, I decided we're going to be looking at the 3 main strategies I used to make it here. But with all that being said, here's our first strategy. Alright, so this strategy I would tend to use when I was trying to be the most aggressive. It's not the best overall strategy. You can do a couple different kind of tower combinations with this. I don't know, I kind of like it because it allows me to be aggressive in the best way I know of. The way that I'm best at. I guess that's, especially now, I guess it is kind of important to do what you're used to. Not necessarily used to, but if you're running strategies you're not, like, you've never done before, it's gonna be hard to keep those trophies up. But at the same point, if you're not using the most meta, you're not gonna be going up that fast. But at the same point, I don't want to be just using meta all the time. It gets a little boring. I mean, other people use it all the time. Like, this guy's using freaking Bonnie Sniper. I mean, that's probably some of the best meta that you can use at the moment. There's another sniper. Yeah, now this guy is definitely pretty good in comparison to some of the ZOMG players I've played. Anyway, with this, you tend to go for, I guess, somewhere around round 4 or 5, depending on what the opponent sends you. You go for Blade Shooter, and that carries you over sometimes to round 6, round 7, whatever it may be. And then a Glue Gunner is the next thing you want to get. But in this whole time, you want to be focusing eco the best you can. Right now, I think we're still fine. A Blade Shooter might be decent to get, especially because we're going to be going into slower eco as soon as this round rolls around. So we're going to go get it now, and we should be overall fine. Alright, so now we should be fine for a while. Glue Gunner will help. Also, we have Cocktail now, so we're going to want to put this at the end, or as far into the track as you can. I guess it might be best to put it in the middle if you're really wanting the most popping power, but I kind of have it in the back in case he rushes me to have it as, like, backup. He's playing, like, the most meta way you can with snipers, so that shows this guy's pretty good. But not much we can do, just kind of focus on our eco. We will get to rushing him as soon as possible. With Sniper, that's definitely something you can do. If they're not managed the best, you can definitely take advantage of that. But at the moment, I'm going to have to go with an earlier Glue Gunner than I like. Might just have to throw him on close, just to make sure he gets that middle bit. Alright, I'm ready to use that Cocktail if need be. This will allow us, since it's a slower eco, we're going to get Glue Hose fairly soon. It's not necessary at this point if he's not sending you stuff, but I mean, this guy's ecoing the best he can, so, I mean, that's going to be the case. He's perfectly fine on his defenses. We should be as well. I'm not going to go for Glue Hose instantly. As soon as I need it, I'll probably go for it. But we'll just have to see. I tend to want to rush around round 13, maybe round 18 with some fortified Moabs, but with Sniper, I don't think fortified Moabs will be a problem for him. Nor will. I'm going to go with that. It might be a little overkill, but just making sure we don't die there. I'm also going to take him off close and put him back on the first. But like I said, it won't be the biggest problem for him if he goes middle path, if he gets a ricochet. Maybe even bottom path. But he doesn't have any of those right now, so regrow rainbows still could be a problem for him. Also, I got to keep in mind, I have no camo protection. I'm going to have to get some as soon as round 12 comes around, maybe a little before that. Also, we are going a little over on our eco. Normally, you want to stop around round 8 with this strategy, but it's all right. So now, the kind of the goal here is to save for my radar scanner and then a regrow rainbow rush. Although, like I said, I don't think he's going to have much of a problem with that. We're just going to have to see, though, how it plays out. There's his ricochet, so I don't, like I said, that should mean that he does not have a problem with that regrow rainbow rush, so I might want to stay away from that. I think if I'm to send that, the ricochet kind of eats through it, especially he has this cross path with the top path, so it's going to eat through those grouped rushes. Where you still should be perfectly fine. It is best to replace this guy with a bottom path, so I might end up doing that. That gives me more Moab popping power. Yeah, he's probably going to be aggressive since he knows I don't have much there. So I'm going to go here. Don't have enough for the overdrive yet, so we're just going to hold off. We're fine to pop that. There's the overdrive. So at this point, you wouldn't necessarily need this unless you're going to need Moab popping power. So if you're rushing around that round 13, you're fine. You can rush with that. If you get the win, then you obviously won't have to worry about this. But because of the fact that I'm probably not going to beat him on any crazy early game rush, I'm going to need to go for go for some more Moab popping power. But like I said, I am going for that round 18 reinforced Moab push. I honestly don't know if he's able to pop them. He's going to need to go for more top path or a bottom path. I don't think a ricochet carries that. Alright, so now we're going to send 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. We're going to tower boost, or balloon boost that, excuse me. And then I want to follow it up with a little bit of regrow rainbows. He is going for the top pass, so I don't think he's going to have an issue with that. He might be able to catch up. He's got a super monkey as well. So here goes these regrow rainbows. I'm hoping do kind of block off some of it. He did balloon boost there. I think he should overall probably pop through these. He might not. And there's game. Alright, guys. So that's kind of the strategy there. I tend to rush at round 13 if regrow grouped camos are a problem for him. But if not, then I go for round 18, and I rush with reinforced Moabs. Alright, despite this being probably the weirdest combination you might ever see, not really, it's interesting. The main thing behind it, I will say, is just the fact... Oh, I went too far, no. Is just the fact that it's Sniper Monkey. Sniper Monkey right now is, if you're playing the game, you'll know it's one of the best towers in the entire game at the moment. It's very good, and so that alone basically carries the strategy. But I also end up using sometimes Sniper Ace to start off the match if that map is best with that. But also you have Spectre, which is just overall a very good thing. I would every once in a while do it with Bonnie as well, this combination. But I just felt this worked just as well, and I felt like switching up and using Churchill every once in a while. Like I said, this is not the most meta strategy. The last one was more meta, I guess, if anything. It wasn't really meta at all. This next one we're going to do, though, is definitely, I'd say, close to meta, because you're using Bonnie and Sniper. Also, this Churchill keeps hitting this rock, and it's not doing damage. They seem to be using Azili and, okay, Farm also, so they might be a little more aggressive, and then you've got Wizard. So I think they will be fine. I don't know. This normally isn't the most aggressive strategy on my end. Normally it plays out and I get some supply drops. Excuse me, just some reds. Oh, there goes some pinks, though. If I can fit, I cannot fit this where I want it. So we're going to throw that there, and then we're going to actually switch his direction around. And I believe going top pass should cover that fairly well, and I don't think I'll have to tower boost. We lost some lives, but that's alright. It's going to happen. We might actually want to throw... No, we should be fine. Yeah, he'll be fine. Alright. Anyway, we're back to ecoing. We fell a little bit behind, but that's going to happen, especially when he puts some sort of rush on us. We might want to throw this guy on just to last. That might just focus on popping the most. I think that's going to be the case. Just that way he's not shooting the weaker balloons, if that makes sense. He's always focusing on these front ones and sometimes hitting these ones coming across. But anyway, it should be working out fairly good here. We're going over to ecoing with blacks, space blacks, which is going to give me a little bit extra money to just kind of save. It's slower eco, so I'm going to have more money saved up. And also, it does bring up your eco fairly well. Also, I'm going to use this just to kind of keep up with those black balloons. But we should overall be fine. We're going to leak some lives here and there. The goal also is to go middle path and get that bomber ace. That should help clear up the track just a little bit. Like I said, we're going to leak some lives. And actually, we still have the life advantage, which I didn't really expect just because, I mean, we aren't really doing the best when it comes to controlling our leaks. But at the same point, I mean, if we leak some, it's not going to matter. Obviously, you want to keep the life advantage, but you're not pushing late game. I mean, if you do, you can rush them towards that point. So, anyway, we should be fine with this setup for a decent amount of time. I do like, personally, to get a sniper. And now Churchill does have his gun, which will help out overall. But I do like to have a sniper, and I tend to go a 2-3-0. That helps me, because I kind of just like it. It's an overall good tower, and also it leads you into supply drop. Sure, for overall popping power, you can go bottom path. Probably better, but I always like to have kind of a good way, or a good way to kind of... I don't want to waste money on an extra sniper when I don't necessarily need it, and I can more spend that money going towards more money. I can invest the money, basically. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. Anyway, we're going to get into green ecoing. He is still farming. He's got Ninja's other tower. So that's 3 towers, Ninja, Wizard, and Farm. Okay. A lot has gone on in this past week. I mean, and this upcoming week is going to be busy for me, dude. It's crazy. We've been having... Oh, I did not mean to run out of eco there. we've been having some open gyms recently for basketball because we're getting into that time of the year. And they've been going well. Been having fun. I also do a fall league, play every Sunday. There's no practices. It's not like if you were to play an AAU thing in spring. But anyway, that and then just school stuff going on. I had my first essay for college comp due, and I am in high school. It's just a college class for college credit. But I had that first one due. I think I did good. I don't know what my grade is yet. It's not been put out, so I guess we're just gonna have to wait for that one. But this week, it's gonna be busy. This Monday, not really much. We just have school. I go home for like an hour maybe, head back up for lifting, and then we have open gym. We actually have some alumni coming in, which means we might actually get to play a decent amount, and not just like 3-on-3 like we have been. And also golf is done, so the golfers that are also on the basketball team are now back. So that's good. But Tuesday, when Tuesday rolls around, it's just a normal day. I don't think I have anything to do after that until I leave for the Post Malone concert, which I've been waiting for so long, which it's on a Tuesday. It wasn't the brightest idea for me nor my brother to get it on a school night. He's in college, so I mean, it's not his classes aren't as early as mine. Just because I have to get into school earlier. It's just how stinking high school is. So I guess it's not as bad for him, but like me, we're gonna get home late. And then the following day, I'm gonna miss school. I'm going to some leadership conference kind of thing that basically one person from each sport in the high school, it might be middle school as well, I think it's just high school, they got nominated to go to like this leadership thing. I don't know exactly what it is, but I mean, I'm going to that, so I'll miss out on a day of school, which kind of, I don't really miss school. Not saying it like you shouldn't, because if you miss school, I mean, that's your decision. But for me, I just don't like missing it because I feel like I get old. I procrastinate a decent amount when it comes to stuff I don't want to do. So like, I don't know, it just messes with me. Like, I mean, I'll be fine missing one day, but like if I'm sick and I have to miss a couple, that really annoys me. Also, this guy is struggling. I'm trying to get my eco up because I do have an excess amount of money from these supply drops, so I'm trying to capitalize off that and bring up my eco with pinks. But he's struggling to stinking pop those. He should be fine. That wall of fire is just, whenever the wall of fire goes away, that's when the balloons drive around. But then it's fine. So realistically, he'll be fine. I did not mean to pull out a ace there. And also, I do have to take into consideration that soon he can send me Moabs at any point. So it probably would be beneficial for me to get a top half sniper. But for the moment, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna really focus on this and going for some supply drops. But yeah, guys, make sure to let me know in the comments oh god, okay. Well, we're gonna do some good old micro in here. We're gonna have to also sell one of these guys, get a main Moab with faster firing, and then from that point, we might need to go for a ground zero. We'll do that. Also do that. Okay, I think we should be fine. I think the best thing is a ground zero here. So we're going to do this. We're going to get that ground zero, and we're going to do that, and that should definitely help. We're going to have to throw this guy on first. No! Yep, nope, that was terrible on my end. That's why you don't want to use this strategy. So, no, I fell behind there. I'm just going to call it that for the strategy because it's not that good of a strategy. I shouldn't be using it. It was more of a thing that I used in, like, it was like BFB, a little bit of ZOMG if I got bored. But realistically, no, it would have worked there if I would have microed better. I just should have had the, I should have put Churchill back on first a while ago, and then we would have been fine. But no, overall, that wasn't the worst defense. I should have probably waited a little bit for the ground zero. I don't know. Either way, we're going to get into the better strategies now. Alright, and before that Bonnie nerf is here, we need to make sure to show off how good Bonnie is. This is probably one of my favorite strategies for Bonnie that helped me go up in arenas as quick as possible. It's not the best because I normally don't get around one Bonnie. If I can, then obviously I go for it, but I am going with the Druid start, which most of the time, if you're trying to play as meta as possible, you want to go with a Bonnie and Sniper start. But I'm not, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not confident enough to go for a Bonnie. I'm not confident enough to start with just, I could have got around one there as well. If I would have been on top of that. But anyway, my point is, I'm not confident enough to start with snipers. What's my phone doing? To start off with snipers. It's just kind of tough, especially if they rush you like right off the bat, you're kind of screwed. But But no, even starting off with Druid, I mean, it's a tower. You get, I mean, what do I normally go to? If at most a 240, or sorry, a 204, but almost like never. Normally it's just 203, and that carries me long enough to get enough sniper, to get to the point where I can afford snipers that are going to be fine. But with this, you do want to leak down, especially using the bottom path, and you want to have them on last so it's easier to leak. And as soon as I get around, probably now... Yeah, I should have done that a while ago. Oh, I went way too far on that. Yeah, no, I overleaked. That's for sure. But realistically, we're gonna have no life advantage anyway, so it's fine. Also, Druid. Oh god, I need to get on top of my eco. This is one issue you do have. You get Bonnie down late, and you also don't end up getting your eco going well. You definitely can. If I'm paying attention enough, I could. But I always, if I try and do that, sometimes I'll about go over, and I end up spending too much and not having enough for Heart of Thunder. But no, you want to definitely not leak as much as I did there. I actually don't know the exact amount you need to leak, but either... I mean, that's fine. It'll be fine. Anyway, throwing on Druid of Wrath just over... I mean, this is pretty much as far as I go, because if you can tell, the longer he attacks, the faster he attacks. So it does a lot of popping power. Sometimes it can struggle with certain things, but that's why I tend to get Sniper... I tend to get Sniper around 8, roughly. It really depends, but normally that is the case. I'm going to go with a balloon. I know, I'm on keyboard and mouse. I already said this in the video. I have hotkeys. I just don't want to do it. I'm lazy. And I already have so many of the stinking bots that it doesn't matter anyway. And then I tend to get up to around 1,000 eco before I start putting in too many more upgrades in here. Although that's not ideal. I know you want to be putting up in as many upgrades as you can early on, as long as the minecarts aren't like impossible to pop at that point. I don't know. You can definitely play this a little bit better than I do, but honestly with Bonnie, especially before, I mean, she hasn't got a nerf yet, as of recording this at least. Even, like, she's fine. Also, purple balloons is definitely a big weakness here. So now I'm going to stop. Whenever I stop sending black balloons around, they end around 8, so beginning around 9 is when I go for a 2-0-2 and throw him on strong. That's just kind of... I mean, that gets rid of purples in this situation, but also if you're being pushed with like white balloons or something like that, you're fine. I'm also gonna get in some of these, and then bouncing bullet would be the next thing we go for. It depends on how soon I need it. I have camo popping power. I tend to get it right before round 12, just because if he does send me a big camo rush, I am fine. We should be fine here with this rush. It's not really much of anything. He's just sending white, spaced whites. I'm going to stop right here at this eco, and I'm going to save myself for a bouncing bullet. It is round 12, so he can send me a big camo rush. I could have played this better. I should have enough. I mean, realistically, you just play it based off how your opponent's playing. He hasn't really rushed me much, so I'm not too worried. And now we're going to get back to green ecoing. We can actually probably do some yellow ecoing now. I could be wrong on that. That might put me a little behind, actually. So if I go green eco, that's going to give me enough to hopefully put some money into my carts here. Once I hit that 1,000 eco, I'm going to go all the upgrades that cost 1,000 into Bonnie until, like I said, they cost 2,700, 2,400, something like that. His cart's already at 300. That's something that you can do better with the strategy than I do. I kind of put these upgrades in late. It's probably not the best idea, but it's kind of just how it goes. But at this 1,000 eco, I'm going to do that. So it's at 1,000. Look at that. Caught it perfectly on 1,000. And I'm going to go every upgrade. Although, it might be better to, like, wait one just so I have the extra money. But I think we'll be fine. So now I'm just at the point after this next upgrade where this guy is on his carts. Although he might be past that now. But, I mean, that's making a decent amount. I'm going to go for supply drop next. That's going to give me more money to put straight into Bonnie. I guess that's something that I don't do as well. So this guy, as you can see, already has a supply drop up. My idea is to get enough in here to make enough money to then get supply drop with the 1,000 eco. So once I hit that 1,000 eco and all these supply drops I start getting, I just put straight into Bonnie. It's not the most ideal in some situations because you ideally want to eco as well. But, I mean, Bonnie does. Once you start getting these later upgrades, these upgrades go up a lot in cash very quickly. So, also, a bottom path sniper tends to get rid of these carts very well if you start having issues with it, especially like a 204 or 205 even. Sometimes 204 would work fine. But we do have some money here put right into that. Although I might, as soon as... So after this 2,700 upgrades are done. So now I can start going for a bottom path. Maybe even a second. Maybe a second drop would do fine. I'm going to go for a bottom path. Yeah, no. Okay, I'm going to go for a bottom path. Obviously, ideally for Moab, or not Moab, balloon popping power overall, you're going to want a middle path combination there to get the shards behind the shots. I forget what those are called. What are those called? I don't know. Anyway, but this is going to be providing more Moab popping power along with the carts. Although we should be fine. Obviously, the Druid does not have camo protection, so that is something you want on these snipers. That's the main one of the main reasons for having them. So here is one thing that I need, and he is already on top of. So Spike Factory is one of the best ways to pop the Beast ability. And I'm going to be taking advantage of that. Obviously, you do want large or big stacks of that. There we go. Here comes the Beast, and instantly pop down. Especially early on, that's definitely one of the best way popping the Beast, and that gets you a lot of money. Enough to the point where I should be able to get myself a second supply drop, which I would say puts me ahead of him, but also he has an elite sniper, so it doesn't quite put me ahead of him, but almost to that point, I guess. No, this strategy for sure is definitely one of the later game strats. Bonnie isn't the most... I mean, she can be aggressive if you use her a certain way, but I tend to use her late game just because, I mean, you can get that much money, sell all, and go for a big rush. Alright. I was going to say, he sent me a DDT, but also I don't know why. He should know, especially when using Spike Storm himself, that Spike Storm is probably the best counter to DDTs. One of the best, if not the best. Yeah, I don't know why he did that, but, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. My eco can keep going up. I meant to put that on there a while ago. And then we can also use the Beast here, which we're going to have that on cooldown, so I'm going to get myself a second one, just for that reason. No, okay, here's the thing I definitely fell behind on, guys. I should have had a perma spike, or even a fourth tier bottom path on the Spike Factory. I can't speak at the moment, but I didn't. I don't know why I didn't, because that would have been best to have that. That would obviously allow the spikes in the back to pile up, giving me an extra layer of protection back there, but I did not do that. So we have to be careful because he has a perma spike, and I probably should have had one myself, but it's a little late for that. So it is important that we send him a big enough rush that's going to eat through those permaspikes, because he's had that down for a while. Speaking of that, though, we are already being rushed. So we need to go doing these, getting a tower boost going, and I need to be on top of these right here, which probably won't be the case because I am slow. Okay, let's just get these over. Okay, I did not mean to do that. No way. This is like the worst defense I've ever had, but... no way I keep doing that, dude. I need to upgrade the middle path first so I don't keep doing that, but whatever. And we should be done. I think just because I already gave this a try and I failed, I might include that last one and just use this as a time to show the strategy. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to go completely overkill here. He might be able to... no. I was going to say, if he has that many farms up, he's in a very good spot. And I don't want to run late game with that guy. I'll include both these matches for this strategy. I figured I wouldn't, but I guess I will. That way you see that it does go late game as well. I didn't defend that one, but this one I rushed, so it ended up working out. If you rush with the strategy, which is the best thing to do to gain trophies, it's definitely a good strategy, but don't wait for them to rush you.